Video at the box office weekend. Yes, I put off making this video because I am kind of sad the fact that all the movies to make $1 billion, it has to be the Barbie movie. Of all the movies, Guardians of the Galaxy 3, no, 800 million. Okay, no. Let's not give that movie $1 billion. Okay, you know, The Flash, oh, 200 million. Okay. Oh, the Barbie movie. Oh, yeah, let's give this movie $1 billion. Oh, it hasn't hit a billion. No, just get hit $1 billion probably next week or the week after. Okay. And again, I don't understand. I never understood the hype for a Barbie movie. First, it's the hype for the Barbie movie started as ironic hype. Okay, it like Morbius. And I was like, it's gonna be like Morbius. It's gonna do pretty well. Began to drop like 80% because, but this movie only dropped 43%. Which means very likely this movie will hit $1 billion. Okay, is $300 billion away, which means the movie will hit $1 billion this week or next week, which means it's the only movie of the summer to hit $1 billion. Yes, not Guardians of the Galaxy 3, not Fast X, not, The Flash, which are all predicted to make $1 billion by the critics. Nope, it's the Barbie movie, of all movies, as well. We can also compare this performance with another movie, the Mario movie. Barbie is also outselling that movie as well. Well, and doing on par with the Mario movie. So the Mario movie and the Barbie movie are doing on par. If the movie does globally the same as the Mario movie, we can expect another $1.3 billion movie, which means most likely the Barbie movie will probably be getting a sequel because they're not going to ignore these types of numbers. Next movie is Oppenheimer, a movie that's probably not getting a sequel because it's a movie about real life events. But again, Christopher Nolan, after his flop called Tenet, yes, okay, we have to call it a flop. I know it was COVID, they were testing the waters of feeders, but the movie did flop. It did lose money. Okay, but Oppenheimer is gonna make money at the very end. This movie is, the budget is 170 million. It says $100 million. So the movie could be making money, making money already, or needs $50 million more to break even. But either way, this movie is gonna make money at the very, very end. So it's good for Christopher Nolan that he made another successful movie. Next is Haunted Mansion. There was absolutely no hype for this movie at all. Even less hype than Flash, Elemental, and other movies. At least Elemental had the Pixar cult following behind it, which rallied behind the movie to make so the movie to try and attempt to make the movie a box office success. Of course, still has failed because the movie's $100 million in the red still. But Haunted Mansion, I don't think anyone's gonna be able to save this movie. This movie was dead on arrival, which I was not too surprised at whatsoever. So Haunted Mansion is a failure. Sound of Freedom continues to make money at the box office. Mission Impossible: Dead Reckoning looks like it's going to lose money like I projected in the original video in the first weekend, which means Paramount's not going to be too happy about this one. I don't think Part 2 will be canceled, but this movie is going to lose money. Okay, internationally, it is having some legs there, especially in Japan. So we'll see how well it does, how leggy it is internationally. Okay, it continues to be international because this movie continues to be leggy internationally, and that's all it has going for it. Because domestically, this movie is basically dead. It is performing like an average Mission Impossible movie for a movie that costed $290 to make. This movie is a failure. Yeah, again, Hollywood is spending too much money on these movies. This movie would, similar to Fast X, would be a success if they kept the budget to around $150 to $100 million. But no, it has to be $300 million. I know this is mostly because of COVID constantly delayed the production of the movie as well, and of course, a lot of some of the resources going to Top Gun as well. But this is ridiculous, Hollywood. They're spending so much money on these movies, and they're losing money because they're spending too much money on these movies. I think this summer will teach Hollywood to make the budgets more reasonable with the movies. Next is Talk to Me, which this movie has become a success. Yes, the movie only cost $4.5 million to make, which means this movie needs to make $9 million to break even. Okay, $9 million. This movie only needs to make $9 million. Only needs to make $9 million to break even. Oh, actually, I think it's around. And this movie is still gonna make money either way. It made $10 million first weekend. This movie needs to make $11 million. So this movie's gonna make money either way. It's the first weekend, which means this movie will make money probably around $25 million, which means this movie will be a success either way for A24. Indiana Jones and Failure of Destiny continues to fail. No surprise. Elemental, its numbers sorted because of strong international holds, but this movie is basically dead domestically. But it still hasn't yet released in several markets. And will this movie make money for international as well? Because you're having your typical Pixar eggs, which is no surprise in many markets. You're having your Pixar eggs. If this movie had a better opening, this movie would have made bank. It would have made a lot of money. If this movie, didn't look so generic, didn't have the bean mouth art style, okay, I think people would have wanted to see the movie first weekend. Because first weekend numbers matter the most. Okay? Not for everything, but they usually matter the most. Okay? That's a time where there's going to be the most interest in the movie. Okay? As well. But apparently the ratings for this movie are pretty great. All things considering as well. So all things considering, it hasn't even released in Japan yet. Okay? That's the only market, I believe. They haven't released this movie. And of course, they have been releasing this movie internationally throughout the month in several markets. Only one left is Japan. Could this movie turn a profit at the end? We'll wait and see of the Elemental saga. This movie could be looking to a small loss with the Little Mermaid and, between Little Mermaid and Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania level losses. Which means this movie will still lose money for Disney, which is very, very bad for Disney. Okay, which means, yes, Elemental did come back, but it was from such a small opening that the comeback didn't really do anything. Next is Insidious, still making money, and Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, $682 million. Another movie I thought would hit $1 billion, but it did not hit $1 billion because the international numbers disappointed so much that the movie ended up making $682 million globally. Still a very strong performance from this movie, but this movie performed like at least $200 million. They similar to other movies like No Way Home, versus domestic versus foreign. This movie would have made $1 billion. But again, international markets don't really have much interest in this movie. Obviously, for example, we have one of the highest grossing markets for this movie, the Netherlands. Okay, a lot of markets didn't really have that much interest in this movie, whereas it's no one's surprise as well. Of course, they have not updated many of these international numbers since the beginning, which is very weird. For example, Japan, I think it probably made way more than $2.8 billion there as well. And they're just counting it the rest of the world, which is really, really stupid. Or France. Okay, it probably made way more money in France than 3.7 million. Okay, same thing with Brazil. Okay, but again, they're not reporting the full numbers from some of these markets as well. I don't really think it's necessary, but again, this movie probably made, as well. And that's it about this video here. And yes, Spider-Verse was basically dead at the box office. It had a good run, but it didn't make the $1 billion like me and many other people were expecting it to make as well. So yeah, that's it about the video here. Goodbye.